At Rasmussen University, we're giving you the green light to earn your nursing or healthcare degree from a national leader in healthcare education. We offer over 15 healthcare and nursing programs taught by industry experts. And at Rasmussen University, we're with you every step of the way, before and after graduation. It's your move. Get going at one of our 23 campuses or online at rasmussen.edu. At Rasmussen University, green means go.
The kitchen remodel project was a major project. After checking around, we went to Featherstone, and we were so glad we did. There was electrical work, plumbing, enlarging a doorway, and of course all the cabinets, countertops, and fixtures. The minute I walked in the door at Featherstone, I knew I was in the right place. Featherstone coordinated every aspect of the project, the whole thing. They made it easy. And I can't say enough about how much we appreciated the personal attention Featherstone gave us.
Straight ahead, residency rumors. We'll hear from the Rhinelander mayor on if he lives in the city.
Plus, cigarette sales are slipping. We'll hear how bans and substitutes are factors.
And the race to avoid airport delays today, especially here in Rhinelander. We'll have the details as your local news starts right now. In Newswatch 12 at 5, I'm Dan Hagan.
And I'm Jessica Jukic. It was a frustrating day for airline travelers as a technological issue grounded flights nationwide.
Here in Rhinelander this morning, airport personnel noticed their communication system wasn't working. Newswatch 12's Matt Weaver spoke with the team over there and joins us live in the studio with more. Matt?
Well, Dan and Jessica, the airport already had a tough task of clearing the runways of the freezing rain overnight. And while they were working this morning, they learned that the FAA's NOTAM communications system was down, which is essential for safer air travel. A nationwide outage caused more than 7,000 flight delays, but not for the Rhinelander Airport. Operations manager Ken Orton and his team had to make sure that the airports knew they were coming for the incoming flights.
We had problems with the NOTA manager. We knew we started having a problem last night, and the whole system went down. We just used everything in our arsenal to try to keep the runways open.
After preparing the runway conditions report, they would normally share the details with their air missions. Thinking outside the box, operations specialist Chris Payne called up the Minneapolis airport to say all systems go.
Even if we would have gave them our information, they would have not been able to read it. So by communicating with Minneapolis, which is pretty much our hub area, they control what comes and goes here. They relayed that to our pilots, so they put the word out.
Thanks to the operation, one Delta flight was able to land despite the closures elsewhere. Orton called the effort a successful group effort, and the airport director Matthew Leitner had nothing but good things to say for the crew that spends holidays making sure that flights stay on schedule. The system is back up and running slowly now, but the FAA is troubleshooting to learn further issues and solve the problem.
Matt, the commute this afternoon for me was beautiful. Lots of snow out there. Loved it.
Yeah, but the roads are a little bit slippery out there. I don't know if you guys were out the last couple of days.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible last night. But
terrible.
These weather, you know, it's kind of lingering near 32 degrees, and that's just a messy situation.
Yeah, it definitely is. Visibilities are also down in some spots. Some places have pretty much 2, 3, even 4-mile visibilities. Here in town, though, we're not looking too bad. 10 miles. That's that reading right now in town, as most of that precipitation has moved out of the area. But look at Tomahawk, just around the corner, 3-mile visibility. So there are some dense fog in the area and also some flurries that are also lingering in the region. Most of it is starting to move out of the region. There's a couple of sprinkles by Green Bay indicated here in the green with all those temperatures above freezing. That's why that most of this precipitation is in the form of rain. For us, though, high temperatures today, we're pretty mild. Our average should be around 23 this time of year. We were hovering at around 34. Same thing in Tomahawk, even warmer in Wausau. They came in at 36 earlier today. 35 in Iron Mountain, even 38 in Green Bay. So we had some really mild and above average temperatures. Most of that cold is well up north in Canada. All those well below freezing temperatures, that's pretty much hovering in the mid-central part of Canada. Tonight, though, for us in the Northwoods, temperatures are going to be mild, still below freezing, so be careful. It is going to be slick out there. We will be in those upper 20s. Dan?
The Wisconsin DOT will be holding a meeting soon about improvements to Highway 8 just outside of Rhinelander. The meeting will take place at Rhinelander City Hall from 5 to 7 p.m. next Wednesday and will be open to members of the public. According to the Wisconsin DOT, the purpose of the proposed project is to address the deteriorated pavement on Highway 8 and develop plans for roadway pavement replacement. The current project is planned to be separated into 2 phases. The proposed project from G to County P along Highway 8 is expected to begin in 2024, and the proposed project from Highway 47 to County G is scheduled to begin in 2026.
A Wisconsin teen is facing charges for allegedly shooting his girlfriend. The victim's family says the 14-year-old shot his girlfriend, Jaslyn Jones, who's also 14. According to a criminal complaint, Jones survived the shooting and told police it happened after she told the teen she wanted to break up. The court documents say the teen shot Jones in the head 3 times, and the boy admitted to shooting, calling it a fit of rage. The 14-year-old is being charged as an adult with attempted first-degree intentional homicide. If convicted, he could face up to 60 years in prison.
State lawmakers heard testimony today on a proposed constitutional amendment that would change the way Wisconsin judges impose cash bail. Their proposal would allow judges to consider a person's criminal history, among other factors, when determining whether and how much bail to impose. Its supporters argue it would prevent people charged with crimes from returning to their communities and reoffending. Opponents argue it penalizes only those unable to afford to pay their way out of jail. If approved by lawmakers this session, the proposal would head to voters. Millions of people across Wisconsin will see higher electric bills this year as utilities face rising costs. Residential customers of We Energies will pay nearly $13 more per month on electric bills, an increase of 11.4%. WPS customers will pay $9.26 more on their monthly electric bills, which is up 9.4%. While the 2 utilities have met intense scrutiny from lawmakers, citizens, and utility regulators, they're not the only ones that are raising rates. Customers of Madison Gas and Electric, XL Energy, and Alliant Energy will also see higher monthly electric bills. Wisconsin customers have been paying higher electric rates than the national average for a long time. According to Wisconsin's most recent energy assessment, residential customers have been paying higher rates for electricity than the Midwest and the national average for nearly 2 decades. Cigarette sales in Wisconsin have plummeted over the past 20 years, fueled by higher taxes and smoking bans. The number of packs of cigarettes purchased in the state dropped from 420 million in 2001 to just under 193 million in 2022. And that's according to the Wisconsin Policy Forum report. During that time span, a statewide smoking ban took effect. Taxes were increased on cigarettes 3 times, and there was a growth in substitute products like vapes. Wisconsin's current tax on a pack of cigarettes is $2.52, which is the 16th highest in the nation.
A new law could be allowing for more transparency when it comes to foreign companies owning farmland in the United States. Senator Tammy Baldwin and Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa introduced the Farmland Security Act last year, which was included in the omnibus spending bill. The legislation requires the U.S. Agriculture Secretary to create an interactive public database of past and future disclosures and report to Congress on the impacts of the foreign investments. According to an annual report by the USDA, 2.1% of all privately held land in Wisconsin was held by a foreign entity as of December 31st, 2021.
It was brought to Newswatch 12's attention about a week ago that there was a possibility the Rhinelander Mayor, Chris Hannes, was living in the town of Crescent and not within the city which he represents.
However, the concerns about his residency is not as clear-cut as it seems. Newswatch 12, Kyle Pazorski joins us with more. Kyle?
Well, Dan and Jessica, Mayor Chris Hannes says these rumors are just that, rumors. It would be significant if he does not reside in Rhinelander because city ordinance requires residency. However, he says his property in Crescent is not even occupiable at this time.
I'm building a house in Crescent. I mean, it's not a finished house, and I don't have occupancy through inspections yet either.
When searching on Oneida County's GIS mapping tool, records indicate a property owned in Hannes' name in the town of Crescent. He says he's got nothing to hide in terms of his ability to be mayor.
What I was out when I applied to be mayor. It's where I live, and it's where I park my pretty obvious big red truck with a plow on it every night.
Part of the confusion could be because the city's website previously listed his residence as City Hall. Hannes is the owner of KSH Property Service and owns multiple properties through that business, with his primary residence being owned by the company.
I got a property I own up in Mercer in Lyon County. I got about 10 I own in the city of Rhinelander. So if their logic is find a property I own and say I live there, well, they have a lot to pick from.
Reporting in Rhinelander, Kyle Pazarski, Newswatch 12.
Coming up, greenhouse gas emissions are rising. We'll have a look at why.
And freezing rain causing issues for drivers. We'll explain why using less salt is a good thing after weather with Conrad.
At Chevy, the holidays mean going places and doing things you love to do with friends and family. Visit your local Chevy dealer, and when you find your red tag, you find your deal. Then make the most of your time with the people who matter most. Find new moments, find new roads. Well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2022 Silverado 1500 crew cab pickups, or get $1,500 total cash allowance on this Silverado with a 2.7-liter engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get $2,500 cash allowance.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
In the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Yeah.
GMC Sierra with hands-free driving offers the most advanced and luxurious pickup in its class. Yeah, it rocks.
This week on Wheel, everyone loves a shopping spree. Pick that up.
I'll take you on a shopping spree next.
Yeah, I'll think it would. Can I use your credit card?
Of course.
Okay, sounds good. Plus,
actually taught myself how to after I saw Vanna does it as well.
And
S.
No. C. No. Rachel.
D.
No. I'm sorry. Can you name this tune? I'll be at the bar.
Weeknights at 6:30 on NBC 12.
And welcome back. It's Wednesday. Pretty cloudy outside right now. We did have a couple of snow flurries earlier today, even a couple of sprinkles, and these were freeze sprinkles as temperatures were below freezing, and everything falling from the sky was freezing up. And then we had temperatures slightly above freezing, and it started to melt away. But most of that precipitation is starting to move out of the region. Now it's hovering in Michigan and continuing to move into Canada in the form of rain and snow as temperatures are a bit on the warmer end. For us, though, we're going to be clear the next couple of days, actually. Some flurries will be possible. For the most part, cloudy skies. And then we really start to cool off and then bounce back up once again. So by next weekend, into beginning of next week, there's going to be another low-pressure system. This one's going to be just south of us. It looks like it's going to be hovering close to Chicago. That means for us, it's going to be more of a rain and snow mix. Tuesday into Wednesday, we'll have to keep an eye on that as temperatures start to warm up back up above freezing. The next couple of days, though, we're looking at possibly a trace to half an inch of snow, a lot more closer to Ashland County. Same thing in Iron County up north, where a little bit of lake effect snow will be playing with us. But overall, though, not much snow is going to be on the ground. Whatever is on the ground right now will be sticking around. We're hovering at around 8 inches right now here in town, a lot less by Wausau. And then south of Wausau, pretty much nothing in some areas. Green Bay coming in with just a trace of snow, so barely any snow closer to the lake, and a lot more the more west you go from Rhinelander. Of course, they had a lot more snow the last several weeks, and that just kept piling up. Temperatures, though, are also going up. They're starting to warm up. with some well above average temperatures, not only here in Wisconsin, all across the states, Florida back to 60s, 70s, even back in Texas, we have some 80s, so above average temperatures with those warmer air that's starting to rise up north, and that jet stream is going to stick around a little bit higher up, which means warmer temperatures for us. Our temperatures right now, we're hovering even above freezing at the moment, so it's not looking too bad here in town. 33, that's the temperature reading here in Rhinelander. Same thing in Tomahawk, down south as well. Pretty much most of the Northwoods is hovering close to the freezing mark right now. Some of that snowpack is trying to hold these temperatures a little bit colder, and not much is winning as most of this air is going to continue to be above average. On Friday, temperatures around 23 degrees. That's going to be near our average high for this time of year. Then Saturday into Sunday, we start to warm up once again. Look what happens by Monday, though. Temperatures around 36, so we will have some slush on the ground. Some of this snow will melt as well with those temperatures above freezing next week. Tonight, though, temperatures will be slightly below the freezing mark, but still hovering well above our average. We'll be at around 28 tonight. Cloudy skies, a light breeze out of the west as well. Tomorrow, though, temperatures hovering around 31 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. Flurries will be possible, especially later in the day, with temperatures hovering around 31. To our 7-day outlook brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress does show lots of sunshine Friday into Saturday. Sunday, though, increasing clouds, temperatures start to rise, and then that rain and snow mix into Monday and Tuesday once again. Changing to all snow on Wednesday with temperatures cooling off, still above average, but hovering in those lower 30s. Dan and Jessica?
We're learning about another troubling sign of climate change. A new study shows ocean temperatures hit their highest levels on record for the 4th straight year. It found the 5 hottest years for the world's oceans all happened in the past 6 years, and oceans are warming at a faster rate. The researchers have examined temperatures from the ocean surface to about 6,500 feet below the surface, going back to the 1950s. And oceans are a good indicator of the impact of climate change because they are less affected by seasonal changes and day-to-day weather cycles than air temperatures. They also absorb most of the world's heat.
Greenhouse gas emissions rose slightly in the U.S. last year. Researchers at Rhodium Group estimate they ticked up 1.3% based on preliminary data. The researchers attribute the increase to the extra heat needed during the unusually cold winter. As a major contributor of greenhouse gas emissions is energy-related carbon dioxide emissions. The good news is the electrical grid is moving in a more climate-friendly direction. According to the report, power plants have been using more natural gas and renewables and less coal.
The White House has confirmed President Joe Biden does not support a ban on gas stoves. That comes after Consumer Product Safety Commissioner Richard Trumka suggested to Bloomberg he may pursue such action. He told the outlet gas stoves are a hidden hazard and that products that can't be made safe can be banned. Pollutants from gas stoves have been linked to asthma and other respiratory conditions, but more than a third of households in the U.S. have them. The CPSC also confirmed today it is not planning to ban gas stoves, but it might seek to restrict emissions on them. Rain and freezing on roadways may mean dangerous conditions for drivers, but that doesn't necessarily mean counties should use more salt on roadways.
Highway departments across the area use specific formulas to control the rate salt and brine is applied to the road. Alex Hageman is the commissioner of the Oneida County Highway Department. His team's trucks use different ratios of salt and water for their brine mixture, depending on the weather.
All of our trucks have basically computers in the cab that all the drivers can set the rates for the salt. So we look at pounds per lane mile is how it's all programmed.
Hageman says this system is what is used for the salt brine application as well. The reduction in salt use is also good for the environment. Saltwise is an organization advocating for the reduction in salt use across the state, and they have a message for anyone using salt to de-ice their sidewalks.
A 12-ounce mug of salt is enough for about 10 sidewalk squares or 20 feet of driveway. So if you see extra salt left over afterwards, it means you've over-applied.
When too much salt can run off into our lakes and rivers and cause harm to both plants and animals. SaltWise is promoting a week of half-hour webinars about the application of salt on January 23rd through the 27th, starting at 12:30 p.m. each day. You can visit their website to register for the webinars or learn more. Coming up, some recent traffic stops took an interesting turn.
We'll have a look at those, plus another story after the break.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Slumberland.
Menke Automotive is your new neighbor in central Wisconsin, so now you've got a friend in the auto business. Menke Automotive prides ourselves on having happy employees, because happy employees make for happy customers. When you need a new Buick, GMC, or Mazda, expert service, precision body work, or just a hot cup of coffee, come in and get to know us at Menke Automotive at the old Fred Miller location on Grand Avenue in Schofield. Menke Automotive, your new neighbors in central Wisconsin.
Did you know that Renewal by Andersen will replace your windows any time of the year and in any weather? Made with our exclusive Fibrix material, which is vastly superior to vinyl, never needs painting, and resists warping and bowing. We custom build your replacement windows in the USA and back them with the nation's best warranty. Call Renewal by Andersen for your free consultation. Don't miss this money-saving deal with great financing. Installation is always included. Call now.
Does your home have a crawl space? When cold weather arrives, that can mean cold floors, frozen pipes, and higher energy bills. Protect your family and keep the cold air out this winter with crawl space encapsulation by SureDry. Encapsulation keeps your crawl space clean, protects pipes, and insulates your home so floors are warmer and energy bills are lower. An encapsulated crawl space means a nicer home. Call SureDry and schedule your free estimate today.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
A man suspected of driving while intoxicated didn't flip out when police pulled him over.
He did something much stranger. Instead, to prove that he was sober, he did a black flip. CNN's Jeannie Moose has the body cam video.
During a traffic stop, you're not supposed to give police any back talk, but what about a back flip? 27-year-old Tanner Watson told a Broadway Heights, Ohio police officer that he'd had 3 or 4 beers.
Yeah, man, your driving's pretty bad. Your eyes are super glossy.
The officer could smell booze, so he started the usual sobriety tests. Follow my finger with your eyes, walk in a straight line. But instead, Watson took off his cap and suggested a different challenge.
Sure thing, man.
Do that, you know.
That's good, man. I can't do that.
His backflip didn't backfire.
You're going to start?
Left foot. But it also didn't get him out of the usual sobriety tests, which Watson got belligerent about doing.
What's up?
What's up is you're under arrest.
Tanner, turn around, place your hands behind your back, okay?
Thus, Tanner Watson joins the ranks of others who overperformed during DWI stops, from the Florida man who did a cartwheel but blew the landing, to the Canadian crooner who sang the lyrics to Bohemian Rhapsody flawlessly for 6 minutes. Mama! No wonder folks fell for this parody from Reno 911.
I want you to step, bump, bump, step, bump, bump.
You know what would be good is if you hitch kicked and then you kind of...
That was comedy.
You a dancer?
No, I'm just drunk.
Though real life is starting to compete, still a backflip is better than flipping the bird and worse than towing the line. Jeannie Moose, CNN, New York.
Give your home brand new flooring at Menards. Give any room a fresh look with the beauty and durability of tile from Mohawk. Mohawk features over 350 ceramic, porcelain, mosaic, and glass tiles. Save big on Mohawk tiles. Complete your tiling job with professional quality installation products from Tech. Menards carries Tech mortar and grout to work with all floor and wall sizes. Save big on all Tech products and get yours today at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Are you putting off your window replacement project because of the weather? Did you know that Renewal by Andersen will replace your windows any time of the year and in any weather? Our beautiful replacement windows are made with exclusive Fibrix material, which is vastly superior to vinyl, never needs painting, and resists warping and bowing. They're custom built in the USA and installed with precision and care by our certified master installers. Plus, both our product and our installation are backed by the nation's best warranty.
I don't have to worry what the weather is outside because I know my windows are custom for this climate.
Any season is the right season to improve and transform the look of your home and add value. Call Renewal by Andersen for your free, no obligation design consultation. Don't miss this money-saving deal with great financing. Installation is always included. Call now.
Introducing Granite Stone, the all-new durable non-stick pan. No butter or oil needed. Look, sticky candies, burnt-on cheese, caramel and chocolate. Even upside-down pan pizza just doesn't stick. Perfectly sear a filet or fire flambe. Get your Granite Stone pan for just $19.99. And with every order, you're going to get a Granite Stone single-serve egg pan absolutely free. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-898-6703. That's 1-800-898-6703 or...
Well, Conrad, it was a scary sight last night. You know, the freezing rain, it kind of froze on contact, and the roads were just a mess out there.
Yeah, they were. It looked like an ice skating rink. We had an interview last week about the ice skating. Yeah, that was pretty much on the roads the last couple of days. Very dangerous conditions outside. Taking a look outside right now, not much is going on, but everything is still wet, and as temperatures dip below freezing, it's going to start to freeze up. So be careful, take extra precautions for that morning commute tomorrow. Right now, though, cloudy skies, most of the precipitation is gone, but now visibilities are a bit low. We do have some fog all across the area. Some places coming in with around 2-3 mile visibilities, some even less than that. Our 7-day outlook does show a good amount of sunshine Friday into Saturday. Sunday, that's when we have more increase in clouds because on Monday into Tuesday, we have another storm system moving in. This one's going to be a rain and snow mix with those warmer temperatures.
Okay, we need the snow.
Yes, we do.
Now looking forward to the rain mix.
Same.
Thanks, Con.